Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is at FeelThePaynePW, or Nick Payne if you prefer, and you're watching my 24th episode here on My Team Career on F1 2020. And if you haven't checked out my last episodes, please go do so now. Obviously, it's a brand new season here, starting off at Albert Park once again in Australia. We finished 6th in the season last season. And if you haven't checked out my end of season video yet, please go do so now, as we're about to start qualifying. As we come on through for our first lap here in qualifying. First lap of the season, of course, in qualifying here at Albert Park. As we go through the chicane up into the DRS zone. If you haven't checked out my last video, please go do so now, because the grid has changed massively due to us signing a new teammate in Charles Leclerc. And as you can see up in the top right corner, Matt Sheeter and Nick De Vries are now on in the driver's grid. As we come through to end sector 1, looking like a good time in this beautiful black and purple car. As we come around, brake just after the 100-meter board, hit the apex, slam on the power as quickly as possible around here in this Australian track. As we come around, brake literally at the 50-meter board, just a squirt on the brakes to get round chicane as quickly as possible. If you do break through there too much, then you lose a lot of time and a lot of pace to end off sector 2. As we come around the double right hander in sector 3, brake at the 50-meter board, try go down to gear 2, round into the final corner of our first lap of the season in qualifying. What's it going to be? DRS wide open, and it's going to be a P9. So we're just behind our teammate in Leclerc, so we may have a fight on our hands this season. Now we've got a great teammate in Charles Leclerc. As you can see from qualifying 1, we do finish just below him, 2 places below our teammate. So we've got a lot of work to do this season to fight off Leclerc. As we come through into qualifying 2 for our first lap, and we go 5th fastest, but that's not after all the cars have come out. And as you can see, we go out for another lap. We're into P11, so we do have to go out for another lap. We do improve it, and we do actually get through by finishing in P5 in qualifying 2. But the bad thing for as a team standpoint, we do actually that actually means we knock our teammate Charles Leclerc out of qualifying. He does finish in P11, so we do out qualify our teammate for the first time this season, which is a good thing. But he is out in Q2. As you can see, Hamilton's on our tail as we go across the line. We do go P6, which is the worst of all the cars that are out there. So when we do go out for our second lap, we do improve it by quite a lot of time, by 1.2 seconds, I believe, and we do actually go 8th fastest. So let's see if we can get that result into a good result in the race tomorrow.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today, as we return to Melbourne for the opening race of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to the Australian Grand Prix. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Alexander Albon put in a great lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Bottas, Sainz, the rookie, Norris and Esteban Ocon, Leclerc, Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen and Gasly, Stroll, Perez, Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi, De Vries, Matsushita, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So, first time we've sat on the race grid this season, back here in Australia. It's going to be a one-stop strategy today for the hard tyres. Pitting on lap 9, as you can see there. Let's see how we get underway. Starting in P8, of course, due to qualifying, as we go to 5-row lights. And we're underway to start season 1. Can we get a good result here? As we go to overtake and Rich straight away, we actually make a bit of contact with Sainz in the back. We sail it around the outside, try to overtake as many cars. We go off the track, come back onto the track and bang wheels with the Ferrari of Max Verstappen. But we do jump to P5, which is 3 places, as Bottas tries to make a look down the inside. We make even more contact there, but we do keep the position in P5, and we have to settle for down behind Verstappen now in the Ferrari. But we are up 3 places here in the first race of the season. Another great start, and another way that we can maintain our great form from the end of last season. See if we can pinch Verstappen here before the end of the first lap. As we go to overtake mode, trying to use as much out of the car as possible. We overfueled the car quite massively to have as much pace out of the car as possible, as we get a bit of dirty air through that chicane. But we are still on the tail of Max Verstappen. Can we make a dive here? We look to make the dive down the inside, and that's another position done. But he's now on the clutches of Hamilton. As you can see behind us, Hamilton is now overtaken Max Verstappen in his Ferrari, as we're up into P4 at the end of lap 1 here, which looks like a great result for us so far, as we've jumped 4 places from the very first lap. End of lap 1, going into lap 2, we're up to P4 on the tail of Ricciardo, but I do think Ricciardo's got too far ahead now. And as you can see, that gap was gone from 1.2 seconds to 7 seconds in 7 laps, as we go deep into the turn, and now our tyre is absolutely gone. It's overheated to the max. We're still in P4 for the time being, but Hamilton is pushing and pushing hard to keep up with us, and thankfully we did build a little bit of a gap before that mistake. As you can see, it's 105 Celsius on the left front right tyre, or front left tyre should I say, and it's just causing us to make mistake after mistake as we try to cool it down, slow through the corners, but there's just no grip at it, as Hamilton is right on our tail. Don't forget, we're boxing in 1 lap time as we're coming round this final turn. Thankfully we still are in front of Hamilton, and thankfully he's being kept honest from Carlos Sainz behind, as you can see, boxing this lap for the set of hards. So thankfully the tyres will be getting removed at the end of this lap, so we just have to maintain and keep in front for the time being. As we come round into the final turn, we are going to box this lap. As you can see, Hamilton is still right behind us. We're going to be boxing for the hard tyres. As you can see, all the cars, pit crew, coming out. Looks like they're all fitting hard tyres. Hopefully we stay in front here, we don't get jumped in the pits. Don't forget, we boxed in P4 and we're currently down in P12 at the moment. But as car after car goes by, hopefully we can put a few cars between us, as Norris is now up in front, as we drop down from P4 down into P16 now, as Ocon is right on our tail. Can he make a move? Unlikely. But we've got Latifi up ahead here at lap 10, and he's actually going to come into the pits. I was thinking about a move round the outside, thankfully I didn't, otherwise we would have definitely collided, as he's trying to come into the pits. I'm trying to get round him. And as we go through to lap 11, Verstappen's undercut strategy may have worked, or overcut strategy should I say, may have worked a treat here, because he's very close to us. But Ocon is the person in the gap at the moment. We've just got to keep Ocon behind us, who is on soft tyres, remember. If we can keep him behind us, then we may have a chance of keeping Verstappen even further behind us, as we've got the newly appointed Haas driver of Matsushita in front of us. Can we make a move here on the Haas driver, on the Japanese driver in front of us, as we've got Norris in front of him, who's just doing great on those soft tyres. Can we make a move here on Matsushita? Can we make a move down the inside? That's a lovely move, as we're up another place now, but Bottas is up ahead of us, who's doing the two-stop strategy from soft to soft, as we come across the line for lap 13. As you can see, Norris is still up ahead with Bottas, and we're just struggling to catch up to him. Can we make any chance of catching up to our fellow Brit here as we end lap 13? Kvyat is in the pits now, who's fitting the hard tyre, so we need to make moves as quickly as possible here. As you can see, end of lap 16, Norris and Bottas both in the pits. Can we get past them here in the pits? Thankfully we can. Don't forget, they're going to be fitting the medium tyres, so they will have an extra pace advantage on us. But at the moment we're back into P4, and at the end of lap 24 here, Kvyat is keeping us honest with Max Verstappen behind him. Not been the greatest day for the newly appointed Ferrari driver, as he's stuck down in P6 behind Danny Kvyat in P5. We're too far away from Daniel Ricciardo to make any moves here getting onto the podium, unfortunately. But we're stuck in P4 as we come through on lap 26, and it's a yellow flag just behind us, and it's going to be hopefully not a safety car, as Max Verstappen has gone through and Danny Kvyat is out of this Grand Prix. So now we're going to have to suffer for Max Verstappen directly behind us. Leclerc just behind him in P6. So a great result for the team if it stays like this. But Max Verstappen is on our tail as we come around the final corner to see the checker flag. Thankfully the rain has started coming down, but not too early, and we come across the line for P4, and it's another great result for Payne Racing, as it's P4 and P6 as Leclerc gets P6, and Leclerc even gets driver of the day, going from P11 to P6. So great result for the team.
Another superb Australian Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team. So then, it's time to see.
So as you can see, Daniel Ricciardo getting on the podium for the first time back in the Red Bull overalls there, as we get P4 from P8, remember, so good result for us, and Leclerc going from P11 to P6, so a great result there. So, and that's a total of 20 points for the team. Obviously the Drivers' Championship will be the exact same, as it's only after one race. So we are in P4 in the Drivers' Championship, and we are actually in P3 in the Constructors. But as I say, it's only one race, so hopefully we have a chance of getting high up in the order here. Hopefully we can retain this sort of position, and hopefully we can sort of make something of this, and hopefully we can just stay in the top three, maybe even push for a Constructors title or a World Championship. Who knows, but at the moment that's where we're going to wrap up this video. after the first race of the new season. Hope you've enjoyed this whole new episode, and I hope to see you here again. If you haven't already, please like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Any thoughts, comment them down below. I've been at FeelThePaynePW. Goodbye.